out of nowhere. And his name was Prospero. You didn't know you were going to learn history, did you? Well, he came in and he garnered a lot of support from a lot of different people. And his numbers and backing was going up through the roof until a vice presidential debate. He had chosen for his vice president the retired Admiral Stockdale. Yes. And Stockdale had grown up in years, and during the debate he was nearly silent. And boy, Saturday Night Live had a field day with this. What happened next? He was so quiet that during the debate, the moderator asked him to speak. And do you remember his response? His words were, "Who am I? Why am I here? And the support for Ross Perot." Boom. And he had no chance to win the election. Now that's the title of my sermon for today. Who am I? Why am I here? Who is he? Why is he here? That's the question that the crowds had of this Nazarene that came to Jerusalem that day. Who is he? How big and bad I am by talking smack to my wife. Ladies, you do this too when you're with all your girlfriends. I've heard it. That's violence. That's exactly what that is. You think it's not, but that's exactly what it is. What Kevin Leman, the Christian author, says is that when we are doing that, all we are doing is putting our insecurities on display for the rest of the entire world to see. The cure for that is self-differentiation. But you see, there's a problem with that because we're sinful, and there's a limit to what we can do. If it was just self-differentiation that we could do, then guess what? We wouldn't need Jesus. God would give us good advice, and we'd follow it, and we'd be saved. We can't do it. Let me give you a good example. Rick Warren calls this kind of following God being purpose-driven, and I agree with him. But there's some danger there. There are some people that are religious and are very purpose-driven. Adolf Hitler was one of them. Wouldn't you agree he was very purpose-driven? Yeah, he was a very purpose-driven guy. He brought his faith and his religion, as messed up as it was, he was very purpose-driven. Those people that crashed airplanes on 9/11, they were purpose-driven. You see, even being self-differentiated and not dissuaded and being convinced is sinful and can be deterred to very evil ways. So what is it that's going to save us? A self-differentiated God who does not stay in heaven far away, but comes to his children here on earth, receives terrible treatment, and is so self-differentiated he goes right to where the pain is, to Jerusalem. And they say, "Who is this?" And they get it 100% wrong. Many of them are waving these in Jesus' face. You know why they did that in those days? That's the way that you would greet a conquering hero, a military person. Because guess what? If you didn't do this, it's like those people in those rallies in Iran and Russia today. All of those aren't there because they want to be there. Guess what? If you don't show up to the parade that day and say death to America, it might be death to you and your family. Oh, save us, and don't let us die this week. Here we go. They were exactly wrong. Jesus was not going to be a military hero to come in and just create a new government. Because that doesn't save anybody. Guess what? I'm sorry to disappoint you folks for 2016, but whoever is elected, they're going to mess up too. Doesn't matter. They're not going to be Jesus. Jesus is better, I can promise you. God is the one that's self-differentiated. Goes into Jerusalem, is not deterred. They get it wrong, but he still marches forward. Has a last meal with his friends that he prepares and gives. They don't serve him. Is hung on a cross, and then we think the story's over. But guess what? It's just the beginning. It's only the beginning of our new story. Because we get to follow a God that is so self-differentiated that he will not allow himself to be deterred from his mission to save his people, no matter what. Now, friends, I'd like to end this sermon by saying this is not the end of the sermon. We continue on Maundy Thursday and Good Friday and ultimately on Easter with our celebration. Please come and invite your friends to join us. As Paul Harvey would say, then you'll know the rest of the story. Thanks be to God.